today the goal is really to give you the overview of what marketing is, what marketing strategies are out there, and how they all work together. So this is going to be the outcome of today, so that you can confidently make a decision to move forward, to say, okay, we want to go online, but what way to do it? Today is the day to figure out what's the best thing to do and how all the different marketing strategies will work together. So just in the very beginning, I would like to introduce you to B2C, right? Yeah. So I think with B2B we're very familiar, right? So initially there was the manufacturer, right? So initially we have the manufacturer, right? We have the factory. And then the factory sells the product to a distributor, right? And the distributor, this is the B2B, right? Yes. And the distributor sells it to all the retailers. So let's say it's a retail store, right? Yes. And then all the retail stores, they sell it to all their customers, right? They sell all these little customers. And nowadays, things changed a little bit, right? So initially, this was the strategy. So here we have the factory, or the supplier, right? Then we have the distributor. We have the retailer. And we have the end customer. Right? But nowadays things change a little bit. So because of the internet, because the world is moving online, the world is changing, right? Especially with recent changes, people cannot travel, people cannot come to the Canton Fair, people cannot come, like we cannot travel out to other countries, we cannot go to Frankfurt.
They cannot go to the stores.
The stores are not open, right? So the whole world is changing. So now what we can do is we can find a way how we can go from the factory directly to these end customers. And we skip all these ways here. We skip them. Obviously, B2B is not dead, right? B2B is always
It's always good. It's happening.
You have customers. You will continue to have big customers. It's the model still works, right? But there's a second model that can be done. Now, obviously, the end customer, they pay the biggest price for the product, right? And then the retailer, they buy it for a little bit less. And the distributor, they buy it for a little bit less, right? So the further you go out, the greater gets the money you can charge for the product, right? Well, the problem is, this guy, he buys a lot of products, right? So with this, you have a little part of a big pot. So let's say this is the big pot, and you have a little part. This is your margin, right? Now, the further you go down the road, eventually, this guy, he has the big pot of it, right? So the retailers, they have a bigger margin. The distributor already has a bigger margin, right? So the further you go out, the bigger is the margin. Now, the problem is, obviously, if you go and you sell to the end customer, your margin is very big, but the piece of cake is very small, yes. Right? So you need to talk to a lot of customers at the same time. Now, B2B, you can consider as talking one-to-one, right? Yeah. You're talking to one person. B2C is like you're talking to many person. It's like you're standing on a stage and you're selling to the masses. You have thousands of people out there. You're on a stage and you sell your thing on stage, right? Now, obviously, there's no such thing as a big stage in this world, right? We have the online world, we have the internet. But how do we actually get our message out there? It's like using the internet, it's like using a radio show. It's like broadcasting your message to many people at the same time. But how do we actually do that? What's marketing? Marketing is basically bringing your message out to the world, shouting your message into internet land and getting feedback back.
Yes.
Right? So this is really how marketing works and what we do with that.